Well, I hope you all enjoyed your dinner. I thought it was excellent. Very, very many thanks to Haggs Castle for producing it so efficiently tonight. It was lovely. Now,
tablet was good too.
Well, tablet was good too. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to our guest speaker for this evening, Mr. Colin Brown, immediate past captain of the Royal and Ancient Golf Club St Andrews. I'm delighted that Mr. Brown has agreed to speak. In these days of austerity, it is good to have a homegrown speaker, and he comes cheap. I don't know Mr. Brown very well, but I have slept with him before. Colin's father, who was a very good Renfrewshire golfer, being a member of Eastwood, Pollock and Kilmacombe, introduced him to the game of golf. He enjoyed games at Kilmacombe, on holiday in Ely and at Glenalmond College all through his childhood, reducing his handicap to a creditable 3. And then he met me. And I'm afraid his handicap has crept up gradually to 7 now, but not bad after all these years. His CV is pretty impressive. Having qualified as a CA, he then joined a stockbroking company in Glasgow and was appointed chairman of the Scottish Stock Exchange in 1987. He remained in that line of business until he retired a few years ago. Colin has been captain at Kilmacombe twice, the second time for their centenary in 1991, and then he became captain of Prestwick Golf Club in the year when they were celebrating their 150th birthday. Colin is married to Trish, and they have 3 children and 3 grandchildren. He lives happily in I can't quite read your writing here, Colin. Where he walks the dog, cuts all the grass, watches his shares go up and down in the computer, reads the paper from front to back, complains about the government, and watches most sport, but especially cricket and golf on the television. He also curls in the winter, but his main hobby is playing golf at Kilmacombe, Prestwick and St Andrews. Thank God. As you all know, things are changing such a lot in the golfing world, with amalgamations and equality being thrust upon us. And it reminded me of the 2 old chaps who were sitting in the big bay window of the R&A bemoaning how standards have dropped. One said, well, I never had any hanky-panky with my wife before we were married. How about you? He said to the other. The other chap thought for a moment and replied, what was her maiden name again? I know too that many clubs are struggling with membership numbers, but I can't forget about the man at Kilmacombe who couldn't get into the showers in the gents' changing room, so he thought he would nip through and use the ladies' one. But of course, when he came out, he realised that there were ladies' voices in the little room off the shower cubicle. What should he do? So he decided to put the towel over his head, and he raced past these astonished ladies back to the men's room. Well, said the ladies' secretary, that wasn't my fiancé. And the vice captain said, well, he's not my husband. And the lady captain was absolutely furious. This is dreadful, she said. Something will have to be done. You know, he's not even a member. Well, Colin, you are a member of several golf clubs and societies, and you've given a lot of time to golf. But being elected as captain of the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St Andrews must surely be the pinnacle, and I know that everyone, especially me, we're so proud of your appointment.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of you may not know that Colin was appointed an honorary member of Kilmacombe in recognition of the great honour bestowed on him. And we had a very happy evening there a few weeks after the drive-in at St Andrews. Vic Weldon, who is the secretary of the club, had composed a poem and read it out to everyone that night, and I should like to read it to you now. This was actually to do with the drive-in. We're gathered here this Saturday, good wishes and plaudits now to pay, to one who's earned our great respect and reached a pinnacle so select, who on a glorious September day became captain of the R&A. This bit I'm not so sure about. His second longest cherished wish, his first, when he married his wee Trish. The sun rose over St Andrew's town, a confident, purposeful Colin Brown strode from the clubhouse, a hallowed place, to meet his public face to face. With a hint of a smile and a certain grace, he ventured forward at a steady pace. A practice swing upon the tee, a gentle flexing of the knee. As the clock struck 8 upon the dot, Colin commenced his historic shot. The cannon roared, the ball skyward soared, a thing of beauty and consummate ease, a perfect strike, the eye to please, the caddies expectant near the Swilcan burn to catch the ball and then return, the crowd whose shouts of admiration then turned to groans of consternation. With anguished cries and strangled sounds, the ball gently drifted out of bounds. The caddies, as in a demented race, chased about all over the place, but a Linford Christie in disguise hurdled 2 fences to gain his prize. Clutching his trove with obvious glee, he strode triumphantly back to the tee, and there, in line with full tradition, handed Colin the ball in its pristine condition. For his troubles, as seen by the crowd who were hovering, he was homeward bound with a golden sovereign. Now Colin, a somewhat sensitive bloke, got a wee bit miffed and about to choke. That's life. Things can only get better. For the rest of his term, he'll be a jet setter. Sunningdale, Dublin, Fontainebleau, Augustus Greens or Timbuktu, Brazil, Japan, and finally Hain, a worthy ambassador of our game. When all is done, we hope you remember that tonight you were elected an honorary member. Wasn't that good? Colin, darling. We look forward to hearing about some of your experiences last year, and I invite you now to propose a toast to the Renfrewshire Ladies County Golf Association.